Hello everybody, this is Mark Hutten with myaspergerschild.com, and I received this question today and I want to respond to it briefly. This mother asks, I suspect that my 20-year-old son still living at home may have Asperger's. Should he get an official diagnosis, or is it better to not know so he doesn't get labeled? Well, a lot will depend on how well your son is functioning in daily life. If he's not experiencing any major problems in relationships or employment, it may not be that important that he gets an official diagnosis. But an official diagnosis probably would be necessary if he needs to apply for social benefits at some point, for example, Social Security disability or vocational rehabilitation. But know that the diagnosis of Asperger's alone will not qualify him for services. He'll also need to be diagnosed with some disabling comorbid condition that affects his ability to function at work. For example, anxiety, depression, OCD. Despite the fact that functioning in a normal world can be very difficult for adults with Asperger's syndrome, the diagnosis doesn't mean the person is unable to learn to function, especially if he's fortunate enough to have people in his life that provide the support that he needs. So getting an official diagnosis can be useful if your son needs accommodations in order to perform certain tasks or to deal with the environment or to deal with an employment situation. Also, if your son is having considerable difficulty with relationships, especially with regard to understanding others' perspectives, then investigating whether or not he has Asperger's may be important. He may need to explore what it is he expects and needs from relationships, and he may need to learn how to accommodate for what he wants in an appropriate fashion. If he decides to seek help in this regard, he needs to make sure that he finds a diagnostician that has experience with dealing with adults on the autism spectrum. So, in a nutshell, there's pros and cons with getting a diagnosis. My personal bias, it's better to know than not to know, because if you know you have it, you can work on your areas of challenges and capitalize on your strengths. If you don't know you have it, then you're going to probably fill in that void with other more damaging explanations of why your life turned out the way it did. For example, nobody likes me, I can't get along in the workplace, I just don't fit in, and so on. So with the diagnosis, you know what you're dealing with, and you also don't feel so alone because there are thousands and thousands and thousands of others in the same boat. So thank you for that question. Thank you. This is Mark Hutten, myaspergerschild.com.